Hello there, I'm Big Alias. Hey, check it out, everyone. I got news for you, and it's gaming related news because it always is. Because it's all I ever really talk about. I would talk about other things, but I feel as though when I talk about other things, it just divulges into your mum jokes. And I love divulging into your mum, but I don't know. I don't feel as though there's anywhere to go with that. So we're going to talk about VR. Apparently, Sony are beginning to back out of VR. It's a good move. I think it's a good decision. VR is a very strange thing to me. It definitely, despite like. I can't tell whether it's popular or not, and it kind of drives me crazy. But despite some maybe rumblings that it might be popular, it definitely violates one of the core tenets of technological advancement and maintaining popularity with regards to those. For me, and that thing, the core tenet of that is that I personally think that if you want a technological advancement to catch on and to be important, then it cannot get in the way of accessibility and of ease of use and convenience above all else. I think convenience is definitely something that we've made a big strive for, and I think streaming platforms for things like music and TV, and now in the future potentially gaming, and all of these bundled in services and stuff like that, I think they've really contributed to that. Not to mention the food delivery apps and Amazon Prime and stuff like that. They've really made a push for convenient technology above all else, and I think VR really validates that notion, and that there should be a sort of input-output scale, or just a scale, I suppose, of convenience versus impressiveness. And I certainly don't think that at this current point we're at a point with VR where it's worth the inconvenience of it. I mean, let's not forget also the trajectory. You're sort of fighting against the wind. You're fighting an uphill battle. I mean, the move is to convenience currently. We drop discs, unfortunately, and now digital gaming is taking over. So why would we then take a step back and be like, hold on, let me just strap my VR headset on, my goofy VR headset, and close myself off from the rest of the world where I can't answer people, and I have to hold these goofy things, and I have to like move in a certain way in order to get things done. And certainly when the games themselves aren't really doing anything innovative or groundbreaking. I think particularly when we're in an era where some amazing games really do exist. Some of them are absolutely outstanding. To be like, oh, but in this one I can climb up a wall. It's just not, it's not enough. It's not enough of a sale point. Now I understand that it's fledgling and that it's something, you know, we need to work on in order to improve on, but I think when the sales pitch is as weak and as dire as it currently is now, I just think you're tracking mud. It's like a truck with its wheels stuck in wet mud. You're just not going to be able to get out of that. You're in quicksand. You would really have to improve on the video games that are being made, to the point where I think something better than even Half-Life Alyx, which actually I have played in VR, and I did think was absolutely astonishing. But every experience is going to have to be like that in order to rope people in. And even then, how do you sell an experience like that? I mean, with a regular video game, you have trailers, you can show people what that's like. And, you know, these have been very, very important to gaming. Demos have been very important to gaming. Now, early access and the Game Pass. These things are very important in getting people roped in. Who knows whether, you know, gaming would be where it is now if we didn't have the demo discs on the front of magazines and stuff like that. Very, very important. But the point of entry for VR is just ridiculous. And the thing is, rather than moving to more accessible and quite frankly cheaper, I haven't even mentioned the fact that we're going through a recession right now. VR is not what we need. Even then we're moving away from that. And the new Vision Pro from Apple, although Mr. Who's the Boss has a theory that they're just making it in order to say, look, we can do VR too. develop for us, please, for the future. But even then, like $4,500. The current VR headsets are hundreds of pounds on top of the console that you have to get anyway, and it's just getting more expensive. Now, I understand the technology is getting better, but that is not what we need. What you need in order to get your product off the ground is convenience. This is why the PS2 was the best-selling console of all time, because it bundled in your console and your DVD player into one neat package, and it was the most inexpensive one on the market at the time. It's the 360. The reason the 360 took over is because it got there first in terms of HD gaming, and it was the cheapest thing on the platform, on the market, and the PS3 was vastly expensive at the time. And a similar thing could be said for the Xbox One, but there's a lot more to be said about that. I just think that now is not the time, and now that we've shot our shot during this time, I don't know if we ever will have the correct time. I think the perfect anecdote for this, or the perfect, I guess, like incidental analogy would be during like Danny Gonzalez's videos, where he was talking about the shopping experience, the Walmart experience, where you can strap on a headset and go shopping. But it turns out that you would have to do that in the shop, and he was like, well, why wouldn't I just walk around a shop? I mean, this is what I'm doing in VR right now. However, with online shopping, I can just click on a product. Why would I put this on? And I think that's ultimately the big issue with VR. It's like, why would you? What's the advantage? And it's just so much effort for so little output. And I'll see everyone later.
The PlayStation's only $149, and you can also get leading titles.